Hello. I'm making this video in kind of on the offshoot of an astrology call that I had with my great community. And it was all about with the Galactic Shaman Astrologers community, it was all about the stellium of planets, which is the four. We'll have Mercury joining too. So it was the four planets that will be in Virgo, but at the moment we have Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury. So we were talking about and Juno, an asteroid, and Mercury is soon to join. And we were talking about as the revolutions of the Earth are occurring, such as we've got the fires on the Amazon, the fires in Europe, the fires in Siberia, the flood in India, and there's a lot of uprising about naturally and like too right there should be an uprising about what can we do to support, how can we act, how can we create the change. And this is amazing because it's snowballing on so much stuff that's been going on. So like near London where I am, Extinction Rebellion has got a strong connection, and there's a lot of people, including my amazing mum, who are getting so involved and giving up partly all of some of their job or their whole evenings or weekends to go and camp in a place like at the Heathrow terminal, where they're going to plan to build a new flight path. And there's people camping there to really protest about the insane use of money to build another landing pad. I mean, we don't need more. I'm sure there's statistics to say we need more, but what do we need other than that, which is more crucial? I can just see that the colour on this screen has just gone bright red. So it's like the fires are raging. And it is like that because with Mars and Virgo, as we're saying, I'm studying, so I'm really learning these things. So I'm tentative as I speak out about astrology because I'm really like on the kind of cusp of what it all is. But the Mars and Virgo is ploughing the way with this fiery warrior through the earth realm, having been in these other spaces, which was really cosmic, and now it's coming through and it's like, okay, like how are we burning and how are we being affected? Because personally, what's going on outside is a reflection, and we have to consider how we're suffering, because it's not just the environment, or poor earth. It's really the earth is a sacred mirror and is reflecting us back at us so that we can see the earth is actually helping us. We think, we're kind of better and bigger than that, understanding, we're more savvy than the environment, or we know what it is, and that's really egotistical because we don't. And actually the environment and the earth is really mothering us and fathering us, and is doing all of this and laid down love for us. And people have given their lives to, people have died in fires and died in floods and lost, like people are giving themselves, it might not seem like it, but to a degree, like that is what's happening. There's a giving of oneself into those scenarios of sacrifice. So it's like, we have had enough blood spilt presently and historically to know that it can't carry on. And I think, okay, we know that now. So what I wanted to talk about was this mix between, the question is, do we really know that? Because I think when I say we know that now, it's like, I don't feel like I really know that, because it's a daily experience of knowing what urgency is awaiting us to act on for the sake of the future and for our own livelihoods and our security. So every day I'm learning more about it. So I wouldn't say that I really know it to be a crisis, because it's evolving all the time, and we really need to act and to step up to discover what the next change will be. So it's not we can't pinpoint it and say, okay, now we understand the climate crisis, because we just need to act with what we're given with in each moment. And it might be a small action, it might be a big action, but it doesn't really matter, because the action in itself will release the stress of feeling like, oh, what are we going to do, with the confusion about the future. like back in the day, we would have this saying in our friendship group, which was, if you feel like, you don't want to give money to someone, it's a cause, they're right in your face, you're feeling like you should give money, or you're feeling the call rather than should, you're feeling the gut call, like, I need to give money to this person, but you're feeling really afraid of giving money away to this cause, or just money away in general. Often a really good antidote to that is to just give, because it really opens the channel of flow. So it's pretty much like in this scenario of insecurity, which it kind of is really, if we're honest, like the channel to open the channel is to just start to give. So to either act, to give money, to create practical solutions, and many little things, and the flow will open. And then you'll just be in the flow, and the flow is inviting all of us. It's not inviting the intellectual, or the kind of the one with the engineering solution, or the one with the activist flag, or the one with the Bible. It's inviting all of us inclusively, so that we can give our part and we have a solution to bring. So the first step would be like, oh, I'm not good enough, or what can I do? I feel helpless. And that's a load of crap, because it's really just a choice to understand that's what our mind can do, and then to say, but one small action, and I'm going to trade into the small action, is that today I buy really great toilet roll that's recycled from bamboo plants, or I donate £5 to a rainforest charity. Looking up and researching something that's really reliable. And as we're going into this stage of needing to get this security in the earth, then we're talking astrologically about Pisces and Neptune and Pisces, which is the illusion of we're all flowing and we're all one, so there's nothing we really need to do. It's like that complex of I'm gonna be so coming from the Christian background, it's I'm gonna be saved, I don't need to care about the earth. And I'm not saying that that's what Christianity is, because there is a ton of really great stuff, but there is a bizarre kind of underlying trend of we're going to be saved, so we don't really need to, and it kind of opens doorways to allow yourself to float. And I definitely used that to float, so that I didn't need to feel responsible, because I was like, but we're going to build heaven on earth, so it doesn't really matter. But what if we're building that right now, and then everything does matter? And what if it's all about the present moment in this body, in this house that you live in this space? What if it's not about where you're moving to, or where you're going to go next year, or what your next job's going to be? What if it's about right now? What if everything you have available to you now is the solution? And it's just a seed, but we don't pick or criticize the seed, otherwise the tree will never grow, right? Otherwise we'll all die because we'll have no food. If we sat around analyzing the seed to death, then nothing's going to happen. But if we take the seed and say, I trust you as a seed to have the innate DNA knowledge how to grow, and sow it, many seeds will crop up. Some will not, but some will. And the point of gardening and growing vegetables is that you just do it and you just see what happens. You can control it all you like, but you can't really control it. So it's that capacity to let go of the kind of rigidity of how we want to do things, and the fear or the distrust of it, and marrying that with that innate connection to, we know who we are, we know that we're divinely supported, we know that we are embraced and surrounded and abundant, and yet we still need to act. So it's kind of like the Neptune in Pisces, of this illusionary framework of just trusting in the kind of golden salvation complex, allows us to understand that we are held, and we are in awareness that the divine is supporting us, so that if we do fall and make a mistake, which we will right now, that we're constantly held. So it is really that game of we're going to act, but we know that we're in this surrounding of golden joy and true support and power. So it's rather than leaning too much into that kind of space where we just let go and allow everyone else to do it and just say, it's okay, we're saved. we actually need to step forwards as well and take the two in hand in hand, so that we can be activists and contemplatives. And for me, these are the same thing, you know. They inspire each other. They bang off they bounce off each other. So that's how it works, and it's a sacred balance between the two. So that's what I wanted to share today. Just some inspirations and thoughts, and I hope this sparks more courage in you and capacity to feel empowered in your current state of what you have available right now. Okay, thank you. Bye.